Hi, it's Kraz, the new beekeeper guy. It is Easter, April 4th, 2021, and we're going to go into some hives today and see which of our splits from the winter into spring took and which ones didn't. We were able to find some queens, but the nukes were really small, and we're going to see how they took here in my yard and in some of the outyards that I have on this episode of the new beekeeper guy.
I'm the new beekeeper guy.
Here's a nuke that had a queen in it last week. Numbers are fairly good for this new nuke. It's a little bit breezy today, but it's not too cold. It's about 70 degrees. Oh, this is laid up with honey. Pollen, lots of food. Good. Bees, nice food frame. Some brood, nicely done. There's some larvae. I'm going to look for eggs. Not sure if you can see them, but there are eggs in there. So far, looking good. Not overbuilt, has room to grow. Looks like a good first starter nuke. Still haven't seen the queen, but I know she's in here. There's a drone. More food. Okay, maybe I just missed her. There she went. Oh. Thought that was her on the bottom. There she is. It was. She's running back around. There she is. She's playing hide and seek. Hide and seek. You got her? Okay. Alright, fine little nuke. There's food. Brood in there. Mood is good. But she's in no hurry to do anything, so this little nuke is good. Okay, so that was the hen nuke. This other nuke doesn't look so good. No activity in the front. And I'm hoping we see some bees. Well, there's bees in here, so maybe they're just tucked in. We'll see. There's not a lot of bees. Oh, food in there. Okay, there's a little bit of brood, tiny bit. And there's the queen. So they are a little nuke. I'm gonna leave them alone. Their cluster is about the size of a baseball, but they have food and they have brood, so I'm gonna leave them be. Let them do what they're gonna do. So tiny. Okay, so my glass box, I'm expecting to see more activity, but we're gonna look in here and see if there's any honey or anything going on in this box. Oh, lots. Look at all the beetles. Can you see all the beetles? Not good. Not good. There's some honey in there. It's all capped. Not a whole bunch, though. This is a good frame of honey right there. What's there can be extracted, but it's not a full frame. I'm really curious to get down into the brood nest, see what's going on. So I don't think I'm going to pull this honey super off and just inspect. That's pretty heavy. Now they're flying around, but they're not too grumpy. They're just figuring out what the heck's going on. Alright, so still honey on the outside of the frames with some food. Really looking for, in this box, to find evidence of the queen that she's laying. Because this is just empty drone comb, so there's a lot of empty comb here. I'm not happy about the empty comb. All drone comb. So this may have swarmed. It's always the case. We'll know if we see it marked queen. It was. Okay, I'm coming up on the next tram I see. So this is all drone comb. I'm hoping they change that around. Just so much drone comb, it looks like they may have swarmed. Okay, I'm looking in there. I see some larvae. Not any sign of eggs, though. Not a lot of eggs. But there is larvae. I'm gonna have to use my flashlight to poke in there and see if there's any eggs. I haven't seen any swarm cells, which is good. Haha. So I see one egg. Again, all that drone comb. Queen cells from some time ago, perhaps. So we may have a new queen in here and they may have swarmed already. Very limited. The hive is smaller than it was before. So I'm thinking this hive, during the past couple of months, swarmed. Luckily there's not more pests, being such a small quantity of bees. Can't really break it down to a smaller box, but hopefully new queen will lay up. Goodness gracious. None in here. Shooting for this middle section being a brood nest. And a small brood nest it will be. So it's been a tough winter in these hives. Okay, so that's got eggs and larvae in it. As far as where this new queen may be, and she still may be a new queen, we gotta find her. Don't have to find her. Super curious. Okay, so it's a small hive, but it's got a lot of space for them to have to defend, so that's why you got so many beetles probably. But she is laying up. Oh, that's not good. Neighbor just cranked up the lawnmower, which the bees are not big fans of. I'm going to leave this one for today. I think they're doing all right. These guys got pollen going in and nectar. They got a queen excluder and room to grow, so I'm going to leave that one as. This one doesn't have a queen excluder, but I still think they're working on. They got pollen going in. Should be okay. The new Bee-mobile. It helps to load things in. So we got the Bee-mobile now. bee yard that I have at a friend named Eddie's in the new Bee-mobile. It's got room in the back, up and running. The one thing about this Melbourne Beach yard is it's way down south. It's, well, as things go, where we live, the island, it's a barrier island. You have to head south towards Sebastian Inlet, and anytime we drive a car pretty much anywhere, it's about a half an hour if you want to go somewhere out off the barrier island, or if you're heading down south, it could take that kind of time too. It's a bummer, all the construction that's going on the beach. It used to be just like this, scrub land all on the beach, but now lots of condos, lots of buildings coming up, for sale signs everywhere. But this is kind of what it always was before, down in South Melbourne Beach. They still have some sanctuary land out here, nice scrub sanctuary land. Gopher tortoises, some parks. Really pretty awesome. It's way back here, kind of hidden. You kind of shoot the gap back here, and there's little hives back in there. Currently, I've got these little hives. Got the rainbow hive. It's called Painted Box. Nuke X1. It's got some activity. Nuke X5 or 3 got some activity. Nuke 6 activity, and Homemade has activity. So that's all looking good, which is nice. This is Ed.
Hi.
Hi. Let's go into the painted hive first. A little puff of smoke. We usually don't like to stand in front of the entrance because it blocks them off. If you want to go behind, all the entrances are facing this way, so if you want to come back here, Ed, you'll be able to see better.
Did any smoke come out?
Yeah, just enough. See how it puffs?
And that actually has some effect?
Sure, the smoke has 2 different effects. It first lets them know that there may be danger of fire, and therefore they go pack their bags, which is collect honey. And then secondly, it breaks down their pheromone telegraph line. So I take the top off and I look at it to see that the queen's not on here and see if we have any hive beetles or anything else. This top looks pretty good. I'm gonna set it over here.
And hive beetles are beetles?
They're little black beetles. And I have a bunch of them in my hives at home, in one of my hives at home. At this point, well, there's bees on, I think the brood cluster is in here, by the way that it looks. I'm putting these little things called frame fingers down. It helps me rest the frame. First frame, use this tool right here because they propolis. This stuff right here is made from pine sap. It's called propolis. And any space less than 3/8 of an inch, they propolis to keep the beetles and insects out. Anything bigger than that, they can put wax. So that's what we're looking when we go into the hives. We're looking for mood. They're in a pretty good mood. We're looking for brood, which is baby bees. We haven't found those yet. And we're looking for food. And right now, all we're seeing is a pretty good mood. We're not seeing a lot of food or brood yet.
So, what does their mood tell us?
That they're queen right and everything's happy in bee land. They're just so calm that I feel that there's I think the virgin queen right here. That's a virgin queen bee right there.
How do you know it's virgin?
Because it's not big enough. I'm thinking that was the queen and she hasn't mated yet, but I'm going to look for more evidence of brood and whatnot. Okay, going into this nuke, which I believe is Nuke X1. Nuke X1 is doing good, packed good. No bees, so no queen bee, no beetles on the top. Oh, hear that? Listen. Did you hear that? Well, I heard the pipping of a virgin queen in here.
Does it sound like a
Here, listen.
Oh yes. I do hear that.
Yeah, that's the piping sound or the pipping sound of a queen, virgin queen.
And what's she saying?
She's saying I'm here, and
she's kind of challenging any other virgins to a duel if there are other virgin queens in there. Here. That was fascinating that we heard that. Pull it out of my pocket. I still hear it inside the box.
Boy, that next one was really full too. These all have their own queens in them?
Well, I did splits a couple of weeks ago. You can hear her again. I think on this frame we'll have a virgin queen, or maybe two virgin queens. But that pipping sound, that piping sound, beep, 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 beep. Let's see if we can find her. Be lovely to see her make that sound. See these queen cups, I'll tell you what they emerged from. I think we split these, and I'll show you where the queen cups opened. Right there on the bottom, see that cup right there? That,
oh yeah.
That's where the queen came out of. Wait, hear it again.
She gets fancy.
There's it, there she is right there. Right here.
Oh yeah. Oh, she's bigger.
So that's a very exciting sound. I'm going to put it back in, let her mate, and that box will be...
She hasn't mated yet?
No, I don't think so. I think... Well, it's hard for me to tell if she has mated or not. She's not laying yet. She's too small, so she's maybe in the process. So I'm going to give her another couple of weeks. And here is one that's supposed to be queen right. That's brood.
Because they are making new bees in there, huh?
Yeah, do you see the capped?
Yeah.
Now that's not capped honey, that is capped cocoons of bees. And I'm going to show you, oh, there's the queen, and she's marked blue. See how big she is?
Yeah.
See the difference in the size between that and the other ones that we were looking at? So that's a queen from last year, oh, X3. Queen right with a blue queen from last year, and still room for them to grow. Here we are at the South Brevard Beekeeper's yard. DC's over there looking for queens, I guess.
Yeah, that one we did the strip of comb last week, and they're making a cell. There's nothing in here. I'm going to give them a strip of comb too. Don't have a stinger, just a piece. Oh, yeah.
So this is a hive I had in here. I had done a split last week, and it didn't take. So all that brood is basically dead from a nuke that I had moved over. So I'm going to see where I pulled out those frames from in here and maybe give them back. They'll end up just cleaning those cells out. We'll see what we see. The top box, it looked like they were going to swarm last week. That's why I put a box of frames in there, but they haven't touched those. They haven't built on them or anything. It's good, freshly laid up. Here's the queen.
Oh yeah.
Right here. That's the girl. This hive's doing all right. This is one that can be shaken out, I think. Yeah, I'll do that. Give it back to him. I feel bad that that experiment did not work, but what can you do? I think this might have been the other one. Nope, this feels heavy. No, this is probably it. Six of one, half dozen the other, right, Bruce?
Looking good though, man.
Yeah. now you know why they call it the Bee-mobile.
This has been the new Beekeeper guy.